We would like to welcome you all for a case study session on Aprilia SXR 160 launch. Joining us for the session, we have Mr. Santosh Deshmukh, Head Marketing at Piaggio India, Mr. Adam Gomes, Associate Creative Director, BC Webwise, and Mr. Siddharth Pednekar, Senior Vice President, Customer Acquisition and Engagement Strategies at BC Webwise. A very warm welcome to you all. Over to you, Mr. Gomes.
Thank you.
Hey guys, so interesting case study here. This is for Aprilia SXR 160, the launch of the new scooter. Uh, Starting out with 2020, like we were super excited at the start of the year, where it was one of the bigger launches for us. The bike was to be a disruptor in the market because where every other brand somewhere had to compromise on either performance, style, or comfort, this scooter boxes in some sense, right? It had a powerful 160cc engine. It had a style statement from the mother brand Aprilia, where the wraparound LED lights looked like that of a super bike. At the same time, it had a more ergonomic seating composure. Like a longer seat, more comfortable. So somewhere this bike ticked all the right boxes. Was intended to be a disruptor. Coming to the positioning of this bike, where we had already kind of finalized on Maxify Life. Sid, you can go to the next slide. Where the target audience or the audience here was coined as a maximizer. So that's someone pushing every day to the max. So it would be someone who wakes up in the morning, goes for a jog, comes back, goes to work, aces, and is probably the best at what he does at work. At the same time, he'll come back home and have a social life as well. He'll probably meet his friends, he'll go out for a date. Somewhere the bike being an enabler for him throughout his day. So Maxify Life was the thematic that we chose. Now coming to our objectives, where obviously building interest and generating buzz was a big aspect of it. Eventually driving awareness and leading them to a consideration stage where they could finally convert and probably sign in as a lead or reach out to a dealership or even purchase a bike. Now the bike was already displayed at the 2020 Expo, so people had a first glance of the bike in Feb. At the same time, March came, and with it was COVID, which we cannot deny. So everything that we had planned somewhere went for a toss. If it was about users landing up at the dealership or the shop, that couldn't happen anymore. Outdoor advertising was out of the question. At the same time, any kind of digital efforts like a content series, episodic content series that we had planned also couldn't kind of fall through. So this is where we had to divert our attention to kind of changing our approach. So changing the consumer behavior from being on a physical ground to actually check out a bike to creating these digital environments for them to explore and discover the bike is what we kind of went ahead with. So like I said, outdoor advertising out of the question. At the same time, widespread like scare in some sense because there is already an underlying negative sentiment. So how could we voice ourselves and talk about new bike during this point? Lastly, effective means to kind of having both online and offline when the lockdown eventually relaxed. So our solution, like I said, was somewhere creating these digital properties, utilizing platforms in the most effective way possible, and also creating interesting experiences, interactive experiences for users to experience the bike and learn about the bike and finally come to a consideration stage for the bike. So starting with a brand new website that we devised that had a 3D model of the bike for users to play around with. At the same time, they could get the bike into their own environment through an AR experience, see the bike in their setup. Uh, at the same time, special features that we could keep displaying of the bike through this interactive website that we created. Uh, it was also it also had this entire innovative media mix that kind of followed through. Now, one of the biggest steps that we kind of took to kind of reach our goals was addressing social shops, right? So, because people couldn't actually go to the dealerships, what we decided to do was create a social Facebook shop for each of our 240 plus dealerships. So, that kind of gave them a digital presence themselves. At the same time, it enabled e commerce for them. the shops had completely operational catalogs that people could like view and discover the bike in. And most importantly, nearby searches, right? So the moment you typed into Facebook saying Aprilia shop near me, the closest dealerships next to you would pop up where you could directly connect and contact them. Moving ahead, we kind of clubbed this with like a Facebook campaign that was a lead gen campaign as well as an awareness campaign. Uh, so somewhere getting like maximum visibility and also kind of bringing the dealerships into the limelight is something that we were looking at. Again, looking at each and every attribute of the bike, like we spoke about style, comfort, performance, feature-driven posts at the same time, creatives that kind of were flashy enough to kind of get people's attention. So, covering all of those aspects, we then moved into an innovation, a new format that YouTube came up with, which was sequential ads. So, how this kind of functions is if a user is inclined to show a little interest in the bike, that's when we bombard him with a more detailed feature, like via a video that probably talks about the features of the bike. If they show further interest, is where we land them
So
on the full.
essentially, progressively, we keep on increasing the interest of the audience by giving them something more to learn about the bike or learn about the product. And that's how the interest in a certain product is continuously increases, and eventually the progression towards actual purchase is much higher.
Exactly. Thanks, Sid. So, what started off with a very teaser like snippet of the bike, which was a 6 seconder, then transitioned into a feature driven post, and eventually the entire TVC where the bike was showcased in all its glory, uh, eventually leading users to the consideration phase. Moving ahead, okay, we'll just see a quick snippet of.
Yeah, I'm leaving. You're late. Don't just live life, maxify it.
So yeah, different versions of this video were made along with certain newer slates in between in order to kind of help take the user from one level of interest to the next level of interest and then graduate finally to making a purchase or filling up a lead form.
Right. So, like I mentioned, 6 second snippets or teasers moving into a feature driven creative, and eventually the entire brand film was what we showcased.
So we got overall like 26% overachieved the number of kind of videos because of the high interest that we got in the creatives.
Following with that, we kind of ran a Google display campaign. Now, again, the intent of the campaign was to have like that maximum digital footprint that we could create. So, a sharp targeting was somewhere addressed here with multiple permutation combinations of messaging and creatives that we could target motor enthusiasts with, bike lovers, even people from the lifestyle. Like our general target audience is something that we could create these dynamic creatives out of and showcase it to them. Moving ahead from there, yeah, again, presence on car and bike portals, right? So that was very important where we had the opportunity to target our competition as well and showcase the new scooter that we had. At the same time, have these very native ads that kind of inclined the user to kind of explore or discover the bike further. And finally, banners that kind of took over the entire platforms as well. So somewhere having our presence on a Carvale, a Bike Deco, even OLX, and having some innovations within that as well. So like the native ad was one innovation. Similarly, a 360-degree interactive view of the bike was another one. Hotspots where people could just tap on those blips that come on the screen and kind of reveal features of the bikes. So somewhere diving deeper into the kind of interactions that we could do via.
So those hotspots would actually give you more feature information about the product. You could even do direct comparisons with any bike that you're already looking for. So the idea was to nudge a person to think that, hey, let's hold on. There's a new bike that is coming in, and I think I should consider this one. So if anybody is looking at maybe Bhagwan Street or an Activa, any other bike, there would be a comparison, automatic comparison, which would be shown with Aprilia SXR 160, and that will automatically nudge you to see, okay, maybe this bike is something that I should definitely consider.
Yeah. So OLX display banners again was moving forward from there is where we went apography.
So apography is a technology where you are able to target audience on very premium portals like say a Netflix, which does not ideally allow anybody to advertise. You can still advertise to the same audience, knowing that this person has a Netflix application on the phone. So we use this technology to reach out to a very premium audience because the bike itself was premium. We don't want to reach out to everybody and anybody, but go very specific. And so, using apography, we reached out to this premium audience and were able to get better conversions from there. Or the quality of leads that we got was much, much
Moving ahead, now like somewhere wanted to have like our presence on every touch point that the customer could probably found that,
So,
right?
club portals like Amazon have ready databases of a lot of people. They know what they purchase, they know what kind of likes and interests they have. And we also know that people are buying helmets, people are buying bike related accessories. So, we created a specific campaign focused on that audience, which would be interested in buying an Aprilia SXR or would be at least considering to buy. And we also added a lead form onto Amazon, so we were able to now advertise to the right audience because of the detailed profile that Amazon would provide. At the same time, we were able to capture the leads from the platform directly.
Uh, from there, yeah. So Amazon display banner one. Moving from there, you use portal sites to take shots where the first view, like the moment the user opens up the app, the first ad that they see is the ad of the car. At
So
the same time, yeah.
in shorts is a platform which is like very focused audience, very premium audience. At the same time, it has a very good display property. So anybody who just opens up in shorts, we would ensure that the first ad they see would be from the brand, from SXR 160, and this would ensure that maximum visibility would be given to the property. At the same time, the kind of audience coming to us through this, the leads that were captured were far better quality leads that we got. So you can see that the reach was overachieved by 15% and clicks by 3 times. We
Daily
also
Hunt.
looked at some properties like Daily Hunt and other news portals. This were primarily taken for news related articles, getting the right audience, but also at the same time reaching out to a far bigger audience chunk. This added to the visibility that we wanted to create and at the same time achieving some leads. So if you see a lot of places we've added some XX number of leads that are added. These portals, the objective was not really leads, but these portals also ended up giving a lot of leads. Now, from an OTT perspective, if you see, the OTTs definitely are a very high engagement platform, high visibility platform, and somebody who wants to watch a show on OTT will never miss this particular ad. So, considering this, we put up the ads on very specific OTT platforms, giving them maximum reach and maximum visibility with highest impact. We also looked at some rich media stickers and scrollers on platforms like mCanvas and other affiliate networks, where the potential to create something transformative, something totally innovative was much higher. So these platforms enable you to showcase your product in the most immersive way. So we could, in fact, do a complete 360 on the banner. We could do a bike crashing into the banner, a lot of form filling activities, checking out different features of the bike. All of that was happening on the same ad platform. So this was happening through a lot of rich media integrations, which delivered us 2 times more engagement than that we actually initially envisioned. We also looked at platforms like Truecaller. So you would have seen that whenever somebody calls you up on Truecaller, you also see an ad, or when you disconnect a call, that's when the ad becomes more prominent. So we use this platform to amplify the buzz at the launch time. At the same time, during the sustenance phase, it acted as a reminder activity for us. Now, coming to the lead generation part, while we also did a lot of Facebook advertising and Instagram advertising, YouTube advertising for leads, we engaged with affiliate networks aggressively. We over the years we've kind of created the best list of affiliates and the best cohorts that we've gained through 20 years of experience now, and that is actually helping us to deliver best results through the affiliate network. So the choice of affiliates, the choice of targeting helped us to give maximum results with getting maximum leads from affiliates.
Yeah. So finally, after a point when the lockdown like started relaxing and went out to influence, kind of garner reviews from there. Have uh, Lorenzo write the that was one of the at the same time reaching out to that influencers that were very close to the proposition of Maxify Life and Fire was something that we also did. Uh, use call outs to that is something that we finally had a few contests that got great that functionality that that was something highlight. So coming back of that,
Aaron, could you be a little louder? Sorry.
yeah, I was saying, back that go to the next slide.
So all of this put together delivered a great impact for the overall campaign, and for the campaign results, I would like Santosh to actually talk about it. Santosh, who's actually led this campaign from the brand side, and he's been able to kind of spearhead the brand and educate us on the best understanding of the brand, and then we together kind of took the campaign ahead. I'll just talk about the from the media perspective. We were able to achieve 266 million impressions, which was also targeted to 32% of the total target audience of the to the total universe, which is a huge chunk of the biking audience if you go to look at from that perspective. And we were able to achieve around 20,000, roughly around 20,000 leads throughout the campaign. In just about 45 days, we got about 18,794 leads here, and which also delivered a lot of conversions for us later on. And for the sales jump, Santosh, if you would like to add a few words.
Sure. So, am I audible
Yes,
clearly?
yes.
Yeah. So, a couple of points I'll put forward over and above what Aaron and Siddhartha said. See, this scooter was the most premium scooter by the price point in the market. It is almost 50% than its competitive scenario, and it's very innovative platform created. Now, it needed a very compelling digital approach, which had to be very sharp and targeted towards the right audience repeatedly. That means a very effective reach and a repeated reach with innovations, clutter-free communication, non-intrusive communication, contextual, at right time in right place, and should result into a very quick, compelling brand message, which was clearly delivered as per the brand's objective. It drastically helped us elevating the business post COVID. We not only created an interest among consumer, but we've also created a lot of benchmarks among the media fraternity through these campaigns. So I would say Overall, it was a sharper and very distinguished approach with a clear reach objective which was achieved. I can give one more example that this not only created a paid reach, but it also created some effective viral effect by leading people to go check product in the showroom, create a lot of user generated content. And I one point of time, within a month, I had counted, we had got almost 300 consumer videos on YouTube and numerous consumer posts all over social media. So that's one of the success parameter I can say. So overall, it really led Aprilia as a most innovative brand in terms of its digital presence. That is what I can say.
Thank you so much, Santosh. Like Santosh added, so from a numerical perspective, there was a sales jump from 25% over 2019 and 90% over the 2020 numbers, and 25% increase in the footfalls at dealerships, which was also a very monumental thing to look at, and 12 times increase in the research of the product on the launch day. Research of the entire Aprilia segment in general. So overall, the campaign really did good for us. It really served its purpose, and we look forward to doing more campaigns that deliver far better results. Thank you so much.
Great.
Thanks.
Well, those were some great insights on the Aprilia SXR 160 launch. Thank you, dear panelists, for taking time out to join us today. We appreciate it. I would like to thank our cloud communication partner, Root Mobile, session partner, IAB Tech Lab, in partnership with PubMatic, gold partner, LogicServe Digital, session partner, Agrea, bronze partner, Bobble AI, knowledge partner, Kantar. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back shortly with our next session. Please stay tuned.